Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the World of Wayne. Today is Sunday, so today I'm going to make it Solar System Sunday. We're going to be doing the next two planets. So we're going to be doing Earth and Mars on the Guide to the Solar System Precision Orrery model. So this is where we got to last time. We've done Mercury and we've done Venus. And as I said, today we're going to be doing the Earth, which is going to have a revolving moon around it. And we're also going to have Mars as well, which does mean creating more gears. Let's just put that back down there. I'm going to show you what we get in the tray. Now in this tray, we got 3 stages. So I am going to just leave that stage till next time. That's Ceres. This is a sort of like a larger satellite between Mars and Jupiter, but we are going to be doing Mars and the Earth and the Moon today. So this looks like that. Again, if I just take this front cover off, you get to see everything laid out exactly as we're going to need it. So this should be fun to put together. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, check out the link down here. You can get this as a full pack. So you can buy this in one go and you can get all the packs together and put it all together. I'm just breaking it down into bite-sized chunks. So without further ado, let's go and do Earth. Let's get cracking. So if I pick this up with my tweezers, there's the Earth. That's what that looks like. And in addition to that, we do have our satellite, which is the Moon, looking like that. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be creating the arm for the Moon and the Earth to sit on. So this is looking just like this. Once again, I have this large grommet or bush which is going to go down the middle there, and we're going to be putting some gears onto either side of this. And the 2 gears we've got the one here, which is quite a smaller one compared to what we're used to. That's going to go into the top kind of like that. And then I've got a bottom one, this large gear here, which is going to go on here. Now they go in alternate holes to what each one is on. So I'm going to put that down, open my screws, and get 3 screws in first on this side. We want to make sure it's round the right way, so when the screws go in, they're actually indented into the brass there, so they're not sticking up. So 3 screws here. Perfect. And then turn it over, and where we've got the screw holes, just make sure we put this one in on alternate holes. So that's going to go in there. Once again, 3 screws. You want to make sure that the small cog is in the same direction as this tab coming up here. Now once again, I'm going to take one of these grub screws out and just load this onto my Allen key. That's going to be going into the slot that we've got just there. So I'm just going to tighten that up just to hold that into place so that's not going to move on that spindle. I can put all of that just to one side for a second because we're going to be making another arm now looking like that. And to do this, we're going to be creating another bush. This bush has got 2 sections though. One going through the smaller side here, and one's going to be meeting it on the other side just like this. I'm just going to get it rotated round so it does fit flush in there. Put that down like that. And I've got the larger gear going on the top one here. So I'm just going to rotate that round till it fits into place. And screw that in again with one of these brass screws. Get that nice and tight. And then turn this over. And on the other side, we're going to be using the smaller gear, which is just going to go into the other side here with the last screw that I've got here. And get that all the way in. And that should be able to rotate quite freely, just like that. And now it's the fun time that I'm actually just going to be taking this central shaft off the orrery here. I do need my bigger Allen key for this. So I'm just going to put that in. Make sure I can get that out. Just for now, I'm just going to take the sun out. Gently put that down. Actually, I'm going to put it on a nice soft cloth here so I'm not scratching that. And that will enable me to have enough weight so it's not too heavy that I can actually manage this. So what I'm going to do is take one of these washers or flanges, whatever you want to call them. That's going to scroll up just to there. I'm then going to be taking this gear and having it this way round, thread that onto this, making sure that the gear at the top here engages with the gear that we've got just around the side here. That's in there, and I'm just going to rotate it by hand just so you can see how that all moves. Excellent. You shouldn't have to force that in either. It should sit nice and perfectly in like that. Once I've done that, I'm going to be taking the next washer, putting that down the top, and then taking this next arm that I've got here. I want it with the bigger gear facing down, if I've got it upside down, so it's going to go this way. And that should engage the outside of this larger ring just here, which as you can see it's in, and it can go round lovely just like that. Now I need to lock that into place, so I've got another grub screw here, and you will notice that I'm holding this. I'm not actually going to be putting this down because I don't want to bend this arm here from Mercury and Venus. So I'll get the grub screw in like this and get that nice and tight. So tighten that up. As you can see, that's how that's rotating around now with all of those in place. I haven't over tightened that, remember, but just enough to be able to keep it to hold in position there. Now I'm just going to put this back into the orrery here and just tighten this up. Now on this arm here, I've got another little bush to put in, which I'm just going to push into here. Now to get that bush in, I have used a hammer. So I just put this on the edge of my table here and just bang that in. I've then got this little gear, which is going to go on the top of that bush just like that. So we're then going to be taking this arm here, and it's the solid end that we want to go into this gear, but you will notice there's a little tiny notch just on that edge. You want to make sure that when we put this in, the notch goes into that gear. So I'm just pushing that around so it fits perfectly in there, and the notch is now inside that gear. We then want to take the Earth, put the satellite moon on, or the moon, and we can just rest that on top. And then what should happen when this turns, and I will show you this on the side camera here, the moon is going to spin with the Earth like that. That's very clever, isn't it? Look at that. Again, I'm going to show you on the close-up there in slow motion. And that is the end of that stage. So that now swiftly leads us on to stage 4, and as you can see we're going to be doing Mars in this one. Again, adding this as the next planet along. I'm going to show you what Mars looks like. There you go. Check that out. Now Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. They look just like that, and they're going to be going on this as well. So once again, we're creating the next gear. Now we've got 2 gears here which look very similar, but they're not. We want the larger gear going on top. Once again, I've got a bush to go down the middle here, and I'm going to screw that in first. So I'm going to line that up, and then using the brass screws that I've got here, let's get that screwed in. So 3 screws. That's perfect. We then want to take this brass collar, and I want to have it on this way, just like that. Pinning it from the other side with this gear, lining up the holes in alternate holes to what we've just put the last one in, so that I can screw these in with 3 screws as well. Now remember, I'm not over tightening, just hand tight all of this stuff. So that is now another completed gear. Now we're going to make a smaller gear again, which means we need this arm, but we're after the smaller end of this. And once again, I'm going to be putting the larger bush in this side and a smaller bush in this side so they fit flush. Lie that down. Take the bigger gear. That's going to go on top. Make sure it fits in to the holes. This is the hardest bit, you know, trying to line this up for the holes. I actually find if you get the screw lined up, it kind of lines up those holes for you, which is good. Turn it over. Just put that back in, it's fallen out. And then put the smaller gear here on the other side. Now it's these gears which run the corresponding upper and lower gears. So you will find all planets will have this arm in them. And they should turn just like that, nice and freely. So, once again, I'm going to be taking out the center spindle on the orrery. This is why I don't put it in tight, you see. And this is why I also don't keep the planets in at the moment. I'm just going to gently keep them out, because I am going to be holding this upside down like this, but not upside down on the mat. It's going to be in my hand like that. I want to get a washer again, put that over the top. That creates a bush, so there's no friction between these two parts. Then I want to take the larger gear here, make sure this is this way round because it's upside down, and that's going to go on the end. And I want to make sure that that interjects with the cog just on that side there. Cog, I keep calling them cogs, gears on that side there. Then want to put another washer over the top. And then when I put this one in, we want to make sure this is exactly the same direction as the one that we put below it. So it's going to go in this way. I'm going to put it on like this so it engages the gear there. And I want to make sure it's exactly the same place as the one below it just there. So if you're looking from the top, all of these arms are going to be located in the same direction. And I've just loaded a grommet up here, and I'm actually holding this just by the spindle and get that through this side. And that's going to lock that into place. So gently put it in, but make sure again that it's lined up with the one that we've got just there. Perfect. Holding that in and get that tightened up. So when they're in, they both look like that. Last thing to do is get another grommet loaded up, and I'm going to be putting this into the hole just at the side here. And tighten that up. Not too tight though, because what I'm doing is I'm creating the support for Mars, which looks like that. Again, it's the solid end that's going to go into that. So that's going to go in this way. Make sure it's all the way in. I'm going to get that kind of hand tight, not too tight at all, because I want to make sure that that's going to be straight. There we go, we've got that hand tight now. Again, I'm going to bring over the base, just so that I can keep this into position and tighten it up. And then I'm looking to get the Mars arm perfectly straight at 90 degrees there. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to gently support it with my hand and tighten that grub screw up completely. Not too tight, just enough to keep that into position. So now all three arms are on there. Now if I put Mars with its two satellites on, that's going to be going on this one here. And what I'll do is I'll put all the other planets back on where they go. So as you can see, we've got Venus, Earth and Mars. Bringing the sun back over, putting that down the top and engaging that into the gear that we got here. So now that's in, best way to demonstrate this is just turn the sun. So when I turn the sun, you can see all the planets moving around perfectly. There's Earth, Mercury going around there, going all the way around. How cool is that? So we've done 4 planets so far. I love playing with this. Okay, so that's the end of that stage. Now in the next 2 stages we're going to be doing Ceres, which is a dwarf planet, and then we're going to be doing the biggest of them all, Jupiter, and that's going to be coming on the next Solar System Sunday. I really do hope you liked that video though. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.